Hey there guys, I hope you guys are having a great day today, and just a quick reminder, all the videos on my channel are not made for children. Viewer discretion is advised. And today we'll be looking at Piccolo from Dragon Ball DAIMA, and honestly now that we've had more time with these molds, I've had time to think about how I feel about them, especially now since they're going to be reusing them to re-release Dragon Ball Super versions of the characters. But first, let me show you what's inside the box. So you get his cape, the figure itself, you get 3 faceplates, 2 heads, a whole bunch of hands, and some cross arms. And here is Piccolo himself, and he looks really good. However, something that I really find annoying with a lot of their recent figure releases have been with how they designed this area of the thighs. As you can see, it goes really high up and around. And I really hate that is because if you want to do the splits, for example, while you can because the crotch piece is made of a soft plastic, you are stretching it. You are stretching the material, which is not good. And honestly, they don't have to keep doing this. Like, I don't understand why it's not much slower, you know? At least that way, when you do it, you don't have to worry about stretching out the plastic. But at the very least, you can do the perfect splits if you want him to. Now, even though I don't like how they designed the thighs, what I do like, however, is how they designed the knee bend. Now, this looks really clean. I really like how this looks. Definitely much better than their older figures. And it's not like it hinders the articulation. You're still getting the same range as the other figures. But at the very least, it looks better now. But what I don't like, however, is the chest area. You see, the chest and the stomach are separate pieces, but because the outfit is made of this rubbery plastic, it pretty much hinders it completely. And while you can technically still use it, this rubbery outfit just hinders it completely, which I really don't like. So overall, while I do like the new knee bends, the thighs and the entire torso area, they really need to go back to the old way. When I reviewed the Dynama Goku figure, I basically said something like about how these figures are basically like 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, and I still feel that way. Honestly, if they changed how they designed the thighs and made these a little bit lower, and they pretty much go back to how they did the chest and torso area in the past, I feel like these figures would have been much better. Alright, and now let's talk about his accessories, and by default he comes with a pair of fists. And for an alternate, he comes with a pair of special beam cannon hands. He also comes with a pair of karate chopping hands. And he also comes with a pair of grabbing hands. And lastly, he also comes with a pair of open hands. And of course, he also comes with these cross arms, which look really good. And when it comes to his head accessories, this is the one that comes by default. And when it comes to his alternate head, here's this one that has more of an angry expression. And he also comes with this one, which is more of an angry talking expression. Now, while the previous ones were alternate heads, these ones are alternate faceplates, and that's because of the turban that he's wearing. And this one comes with by default, it comes with a happy expression. And for an alternate, he comes with this one, which is more of a shock/surprised expression. And for his final faceplate, he comes with this one, which is more of an angrily talking expression. Now, real quick, if you want to put on the cape, make sure you turn this peg like this first, and then put on the turban without the faceplate first. That'll make things a lot easier. The reason the neck joint is designed this way is because normally this is how the head will look like with the cape on, but because it's designed that way, you can actually lift it up higher, so now you can actually see his head despite having the cape on. And here's what Piccolo looks like with his cape on, and honestly this is a major improvement over the one that I had before, which was made for Gohan from Dragon Ball Superhero movie. And what's really cool is that there's actually a wire throughout the whole cape, so you can actually pose it in whatever way you want. And for anybody wondering, here's how the two capes look like next to each other. And yes, I am aware that the superhero movie version of Piccolo is meant for Gohan, not for Piccolo. But honestly, what would be the difference? They actually gave him one. And honestly, what I really like about the cloth cape is just how much space you save with it, which is really good for the shelf on the display. That's one of the things I hate about the Gamma figures, is that they just make it really hard to put wherever you want because those damn plastic capes, you know, they just get in the way. But luckily with this new Piccolo, you don't have to worry about that. And not to mention, it just looks way better in my opinion. Yeah, especially from the front, because I really like how all of this just goes down throughout the arms, while this one, it only covers the backside. And honestly, with the wire and everything, the fact that you can just put it in whatever pose you like, it just looks... I really love this new cape. They did an amazing job with this. Especially because if you look at this cape right here, it unfortunately cannot hold its own weight. So that pretty much sucks. But with this one, you don't have to worry about it because it has a wire. And for those of you wondering, yes, the cross arms do actually work with the cape on, which is pretty good. Hey there guys, while I was doing the editing for this video, I noticed that there was something on the cape, that little spot right there. Now I went back to look at the cape personally, and as far as I can tell, that's the only area that has that. I'm not entirely sure what it is because of how small it is, but if I had to make a guess, I say that it's probably a little bit of glue. And now let's talk about the articulation. Now when it comes to his head, he does have that weird double jointed thingy, so because of that he can look all the way up, which is pretty good. And of course he can also look down really well, although just make sure to keep that that joint hidden right there. And of course he also has a neck articulation. This is how high up the arms can go. And of course he also has a butterfly joint. This is how much the arms can bend. And he also has arm rotation. He does have articulation for the chest and stomach, however because of the outfit it pretty much restricts it and makes it unusable. But if you really try, you can, but it just takes a lot of work, and plus you're also putting a lot of pressure on the soft plastic. And when it comes to kicking, he can go all the way up, which is really good. And of course he can bend the knee, which is really nice. He gets foot rotation and toe articulation. And be aware that because of how soft the crotch piece is, it can pretty much go under and over it, so just be careful how you do that. And of course you also get thigh rotation, although because of how the thigh is shaped, there is a limit to how far you can go, as you can see. And of course, if you take the thighs under the crotch piece, you can actually do the perfect splits. Although I gotta say, I really don't like this right here. Like, what the hell is that supposed to be? That looks really stupid to me. And of course, this is how much the legs can go forward and backwards. And this is how much Piccolo can bend forward. And when it comes to bending backwards, is about as much as it can go. Although it's mainly the legs or the thighs that do most of the work. And be aware that there is like this gap right here that forms. And for comparisons, here are the other Piccolos that I currently own. The one on the left is Orange Piccolo from the Dragon Ball superhero movie, and on the right you also got base form Piccolo from also the Dragon Ball superhero movie. Now, personally, out of these three, I would say that Orange Piccolo is my favorite, but of course that is a completely different mode. If we get rid of that guy and then we just compare these two, unfortunately, I cannot definitively say which one is better or worse. The main reason is because there's actually like pros and cons to each figure. For example, when it comes to the knees, I prefer the one from Dragon Ball DAIMA, but when it comes to the thighs, I prefer the one from the Dragon Ball superhero movie. And when it comes to the crotch piece, I prefer the Dynamo one, but when it comes to the stomach and chest, I prefer the superhero movie one. And when it comes to the heads, I prefer the Daima one. And honestly, there are pros and cons, and don't get me wrong, both figures are really good. But honestly, I wish they could mix match the pieces to create like the perfect figure. But honestly, whichever one you have, I say that they're both really good, and I'm happy with buying both of them. Now, I got mine on Amazon for $65, and right now it's going for $75. Now, honestly, for that kind of money, I think that this figure is totally worth it. He comes with quite a bit of accessories. On top of that, he comes with this cape that has a wire, which is really nice. And quality control wise, I have nothing to complain about. Everything looks pretty clean. And honestly, if you don't have a Piccolo figure in your collection right now, this is definitely a good way to start. I highly recommend this figure. He looks really nice and the articulation is really good. Alright, and now it's time for the size comparisons, and here he is next to my Snail Shell Zombie Grizza and Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. And here he is next to my Jedi Toy Street Fighter Cammy and Guile. And here he is next to my Mofix Marvel Gwenpool and DC Batman Night Crusader. And lastly, here he is next to my official Figuarts Android 21 and my third-party Zeno Goku. Anyway guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed, and if you can, please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.